Yo, what's up? It's your boy Casanova the Don, aka Top Outs. Well, uh, minutes ago I watched the last interview, and unfortunately, the interview ended so quickly because Juvenile refused to finish the interview because of Young Buck. Uh, okay, what happened? Why Juvenile says I hate Buck? Buck is a bitch ass nigga. Because Young Buck on DJ Vlad, all that stuff happened on DJ Vlad TV. Remember on December, I think December last year, uh, Young Buck, former G Unit member, was interviewed by DJ Vlad. Okay? Young Buck was in Cash Money. He never released any album or featuring with Hot Boys. So he and Juvenile were friends after they left Cash Money. Okay, so together they left Cash Money to make, of course, Juvenile came from New Orleans and Young Buck came from Nashville, Tennessee. Juvie from New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay. So what happened? Okay, according to Young Buck, he and Juve made UTP group. They started their own, records called UTP Records, and they making the tour. You can find that tour on YouTube. This is way before Young Buck joined with G Unit and 50. And so Young Buck says that he and Juvenile and others on UTP group, they participated on this Functional Family soundtrack. They recorded "I'm a Gangsta." So Suge Knight was interested in Juvenile's music, because Juvenile was a former Hot Boy member and also former Cash Money artist. I don't know if he's still a Cash Money artist until now, but at that time, I think in 2002 and 2003, because Dysfunctional Family was released on Death Row in March 2003, as I remember. So Young Buck and Juve, they were together and also UTP group. Together they are in a hotel room because Suge wants Juvenile signed to Death Row. And so what happened? Juvenile disappeared. Buck was looking for Juvenile. So, okay, so according to Young Buck, Juvenile was not answering the call. He disappeared. Suge was very upset because Juvenile was not there, because he was interested in Juvie. So Juvenile, I don't know. I think he saw the interview and he doesn't like it. And that's why he said, I hate Buck. Buck is a bitch ass nigga. Buck is a bitch. So he refuses to tell us why Juve disappeared at that time. So that was the reason. So yeah, the interview was stopped because Juvenile refused to speak about it. Excuse me. So Juvenile refused to speak about, you know, about at that time when they were on death row, when Suge Knight wants him to sign a contract, uh, because okay, Juvenile, I think, um, you know, I don't know what the fuck was going on because Juvenile and Young Buck and the rest of the UTP, you know, they flew to Los Angeles, California to meet Suge and the Row. They recorded, I think, I'm a Gangsta and other song. I don't remember exactly, but I remember they made another song. So I'm a Gangsta was the song on this Functional Family soundtrack. Of course, at that time, uh, 50 Cent was signed to Aftermath, and G-Unit was not yet, you know, created because Young Buck, I think the time when they on death row, of course, Suge was unhappy because Juve disappeared. He was not on the hotel in his hotel room with others. And wow. So Juvenile was very angry. He's very angry now in 2021. So let's see. This stuff happened in 2003. Okay? So so what happened? Young Buck was on death row and Juve disappeared. He's supposed to be there with his group. And I don't know because in 2021, of course, in 2020, on December 2020, Young Buck told us everything. I remember this Functional Family soundtrack was released on Death Row at that time, but I didn't know how Juvenile, you know, participated on the tracks with Suge and the Row. Because Juvenile came from New Orleans and Young Buck from Nashville. Okay? So, together they used to be friends. They were close friends since Cash Money, you know, since the 90s. Now 2021, Juvenile says, fuck is a bitch. Buck is a bitch. Fuck Buck. I hate Buck. Buck is a bitch ass nigga. And that's it. The interview stopped it. So DJ Vlad stopped the interview because Juvenile refused to continue the interview because of that, because of what Young Buck spoke about this. You know, I don't think Juvenile is going to tell us why he left the hotel room, why he refused to sign with Suge Knight and Death Row. You know, what's the reason? Is it because, did he got a fight? Because that was years ago, 2003. I mean, 18 years ago, and Juvenile never in any interviews. I remember in any interviews because after that, Young Buck joined with 50 Cent and G Unit. Juvenile, at that time, he had altercations with Baby and Lil Wayne. As I remember, Juvenile in the interview, I don't know exactly the year, but he made an interview that he's going to punish Cash Money and Birdman for not paying him his loyalty. And he started talking about Baby and Wayne kissing and stuff like that. Anyway, that's not the topic. So, I never seen Juvenile dissing Young Buck at that time until now, because December 2020, Young Buck, he started telling the story, talking about how Suge, put him and Juvenile in a soundtrack Dysfunctional Family when they recorded the song called I'm a Gangsta. So, Dysfunctional Family participated, the Raw and the INC, and also Jay-Z as a guest, and Juvenile, Young Buck. Of course, they at that time Suge wants Juvenile to be part of Death Row. So that's why Juve refuses to speak about it. It's not because only that situation on Death Row, but that was a reason. Maybe because Young Buck, he told something that Juve doesn't want to everybody know it. He doesn't want people to know that. So that's why, okay, Buck, fuck you. You you spilled the secret. You're a bitch ass nigga. Why did you tell this? So maybe I think Juve, he's very, 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 very upset and very mad at Buck because Buck told the secret about that time Juve disappeared. I think that was the reason, because Vlad asked Juve about what Young Buck, spoke about a contract that Suge wants him to sign with the Row. So he's not going to tell the truth. Young Buck told us that Juvie is not going to tell. This is all about Death Row stuff. This is all about what happened on UTP. Because UTP was formed by Juvenile, Young Buck, Skipa, or I don't know, other dudes from Nashville and dudes from New Orleans. They put them together, the group called UTP. So, now Juvenile, at these days, he's like 45, 46 years old. And Young Buck is like 40 years old. Okay. Anyway, This is the truth behind Young Buck and Juvenile beef. That was the reason why Juve hated Buck for the interview that Buck, spitted on DJ Vlad TV. So it's all about death row stuff. It's all about, you know, so, well, that's it. I'm out.